Hey everybody, what is going on? Daryl with Simply Incredible Disc Golf with Ms. Debbie. You
That's how you say my name right.
well, I heard that at the Battle for Bedford, when you were getting ready to tee off, your card mates all did that, and I was like, that's so awesome. So, thank you for joining me first and foremost. I always appreciate people taking time out to come hang out with me and talk the great sport of disc golf.
Of course, yeah, thanks for having me. This is my first time doing this, so I hope it goes smoothly,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
glad to be here with you tonight.
there you go. Baby steps.
hmm
Learned that from Bill Murray. Where we always start off is how did you get started in the game?
Yeah, so I actually played Ultimate Frisbee in college at UVA, and we go Who's. So I started my sophomore year of college, and honestly, that was my first introduction to disc sports. And I think the throwing mechanic of the disc, I got into it pretty quickly. And then as I left college, the pandemic hit, and I think I kind of fell out of love with Ultimate, to be honest. I think I was craving like something, an independent game, and like something that I could see my progress over time. And like that's when disc golf came in and just like wrapped me into the game. Um, that I actually, it's something I started with my husband, so we could bond outside of work. And I was so bad when I first started. I mean, I think everyone is bad to their relative level. It was something that he and I just started doing for fun. And then I threw a couple good shots and I was like, hey, I think this is kind of fun. And we just kind of kept doing it over time, over on the weekends. And then I think the obsession slowly crept in like everyone else. And um, I just like went into tournaments like pretty soon after I started. And I've kind of been hooked ever since. So yeah, just like a pandemic thing. A lot of new people came in through the sport then, and it's been great, honestly. Yeah, so I'm so glad to have been introduced to the game during the pandemic. I've met some really cool people. Um,
To me, that's one of the best things is the people we get to meet doing this. It's people I would never have met before.
I know,
It's
yeah,
really cool.
I agree. I would have never met you, and we would have never been here. So
That's right. That's right. You would have never shown up and destroyed the competition at the Battle of Bedford.
that's true.
So, what was it like going the Battle of Bedford? I know I actually meant to take this later, but I mean, going against Holly Finley, who is amazing. So, what was it like, kind of going head to head with her, especially that last round?
Honestly, it was really nerve-wracking. She her and I had a very I had just met her in this tournament, and I think we had a very good competitive spirit. So we were both like not chit-chatting much. We were both very focused, and I was honestly so I think I had gone into the last round with a I don't know, remember it was like a 4 or 5 stroke lead. So obviously I was thinking like don't blow the lead, don't blow the lead. Because I knew how much the win would mean and how cool it would be. But I kind of like before the round kind of got into that mindset of, okay, think about if you didn't win and Holly were to beat you, like how would you feel about that? So just kind of thinking about the worst scenario that could happen and being okay with it kind of took the nerves out of me. Um, I also felt less pressure because I knew she is Holly Finley and she's a touring pro and has a lot more experience. That if I were to just try my best, I could be very proud of that. So I think I didn't really put pressure on myself for any expectation. I kind of would just like kind of let it happen as it happened, and I just took a shot as it came, and that's the result that happened. So
All right. Now, one thing you did say is y'all didn't talk a lot.
not
And
really.
one of the biggest things about FPO that I see is how chatty everyone is with one another. Do you? Because I was always thinking if I was playing, which side would I be in? Would I be more talkative? Would I be, just blinders on, just dead focused? Because when I look at Kristen Tatar,
Yeah.
that's her. She is just like a machine out there
Right.
playing. And then you have the opposite side, Own Scoggins. She'll talk to a tree if it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just like wondering, like, where are you on that scale? From Kristen to Own.
I think I'm in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm the chattiest person in the world, but I think I probably chat in between shots,
Mm-hmm.
if the person is up to it, to kind of get my mind off the current focus of the shot. But then as I'm going to throw, obviously I don't chat. Um, so I would say I probably try to read kind of like how the card is going. Like some cards are chatty and some cards
Mm-hmm.
are not. So I kind of read the situation and go based off of that. But if someone else is willing to chat, I'll chat with them. And if
Mm-hmm.
people don't want to chat, I'll take that and won't say a word.
Yeah. Because I was at the U.S. Women's. Man, I mention that every podcast.
Were they
Well,
quiet or?
when I was there, I was following. It was Kristen, Own, Haley, and Stacey Rollins. Chatty group,
Chatty? Yeah, all of
very
them? Like
chatty.
even Kristen?
Hmm?
Was Kristen even chatty too?
I mean, when Own's around, everybody's chatty.
Yeah.
She's a delight to be around, to be honest. But on one hole, I start walking with the group in front of them because they had to veer off to the right, and so it was on hole 6, and the other group was coming up. It was Cap Merch, Miss Frisbee's, Chantel. It was 2 other people, and I cannot for the life of me think of who they were. So I walk up behind them. They weren't talking at all.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm very confused by this whole thing.
Owen is so easy to talk to. I met her briefly at US Women's last year. I was playing an FA1 at the time and just went into played the practice round at Elver, and they were filming like a Jomez Pro practice round, and Owen like I just went up to Owen and she was just so chatty to like a stranger. So it was really cool to be in that, and I can see what you mean. Like she'll talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the shots she threw, and to this day, it cracks me up. It was at the Disc Golf Pro Championship, and she gets up to the tee pad. I think to Holland Hanley and maybe Kristen both hit trees, and she goes up there and she goes, "Hey, ladies, look at this one." And she just laces this amazing forehand, turns around and bows to everybody. The
Oh my God, I
showman,
love
the
that.
absolute show person that she is. It's amazing. One of my friends, one of my good, awesome comic book friends, what is the best thing about disc golf? And what are, I can't read right now. What is the biggest challenges competing to win matches?
So that was a two-part question. The best thing about disc golf. That's a really hard question because I feel like there's a lot of things. I think one of my best things that's coming to my mind is the feeling of the disc when it leaves your hand and the flight. Like, you know, that perfect shot that you get, like that perfect drive, you're like, wow, I just did that.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels so good. And like also when you make a really good putt, that feels really good. And you're always trying to chase and replicate that feeling in every other shot. I think it's kind of those feelings that I can't explain. So I would say that definitely sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge to competing to win matches, I think maybe this is something that I need to work on and something to further build my experience, but I feel like I can't force winning, you know, like disc golf is a game where you're not directly competing with someone compared to like soccer or chess where there's like direct defense. People are each taking their own individual shots. So I feel like a lot of the times you could be playing your best, but someone else could just be playing better and they beat you. And that's kind of out of your control. And maybe it's like a lack of experience thing for me or something that I have to work on. But I feel like a lot of the times I just try my best and focus and do what I can and hit the gap. And that's kind of all I can do and leave out on the course that day.
Mm-hmm. See, for me, I agree. For me, I don't throw very far, but when I let that throw go, and it comes out smooth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got that beautiful flight,
Right.
and for me, forehand a lot. When I get that little Annie and it flexes back, I'm like, oh, so beautiful in the air.
I know. It just feels like butter through the air. Like you can feel it, you know?
Yeah, and then the second thing for me is the people that I've gotten to meet. I mean that, I'll hit first available, and I try to be like Missy Gannon, Evelina, and Own, and just turn and just smile like, yeah, it's just a tree. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
But quite often I might kick my bag right after that. But
So are you one of those types of people?
no,
The pe-
actually, for the most part, if I get tired, then the things kind of multiply. Then I get frustrated. But for the most part, I'm just like, let's just have fun.
Mhm.
Just come out and throw. But again, I'm not very competitive actually in events yet.
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 You'll get there. You'll be there one day.
Hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, right now that the 50 age group's a little too good for me. So I'm staying in like MA3, MA4 area. Who inspired you?
In disc golf?
Mm-hmm.
Who inspired me? That's a like pro or just anyone or
Anybody?
um I would say my husband.
Mhm.
He inspired me, I think, because we first started learning the game together.
I just want to
And-
say that that's the correct answer.
yeah.
So husband, if you're watching,
I think he's watching. I sent him the link. I think he inspired me because he like we kind of started on the journey of learning disc golf together. We met playing ultimate frisbee, so we could kind of coach each other in the beginning on like how to play and how to throw the disc golf disc. So he definitely inspired me and was always encouraging. And I was like, why did I choose this game? It's like it's so hard, and I think the learning curve is very difficult for beginners. So
Mhm.
kind of just having that partner to motivate me and encourage me to keep going and keep getting out there and practicing was huge when I first started.
Did you like pretty much everybody once you kind of got that hook?
Yeah.
Do you have like 1,000 discs at your house?
Yes. 100%. Yes.
It's such an addiction.
Yeah, yeah, it is actually. And when you're first starting out, you want to try all these discs. You're like, I want to try this mid range and this putter. So you just start accumulating them.
Actually, Chris, we did mention this. Are you planning to play Worlds this year,
I
2024?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think it's so close. So definitely travel won't be a barrier. But yeah, I'm really hoping to play Worlds next year, and I'm really excited but nervous. It's going to be what my first event playing an FPO with the big dogs.
Oh, really? So you're not
Mhm.
going to stick your toe into anything else before that?
Actually, I haven't really thought about that. I guess U.S. Women's is in March in Rock Round, Texas, I
Hmm.
believe. So that's coming up soon. I guess I should make a decision about that. But
I
Worlds
was
is
thinking there
definitely
might be
on the
some pros in Tennessee before, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I honestly, I probably have to think about my schedule more for next
Hmm.
year. I've mostly just been playing like pro events in the local like, Virginia area. So I
Hmm.
think maybe next year's a trek to make some bigger events with bigger names.
Do you look at potential as future career full time?
Unfortunately, no. I do have a day career. I'm a software developer, so I'm pretty focused on that, and I do enjoy my career. So I don't think that I will go full time, but I do hope to be at that level and work on my game to potentially compete with those players.
That would be awesome. Yeah, my phone blanked out there for a second. How did you get to UVA? Because I'm a diehard Cavalier. Everybody knows that. If you watch any of my videos, you will always see this hat on my head.
How?
Ever since I was a baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. What's your favorite team? The basketball team?
Well, I grew up with basketball because of Ralph Sampson
Okay.
when I was little. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had all those decades of torment. But yeah, it's basketball first.
Okay. Yeah.
Football, yeah. Baseball is in there. I love watching the women's basketball team,
Hmm.
especially back probably before you when Debbie Ryan was coaching. Dawn Staley, who was the South Carolina coach, kind of led our team to the national title game in women's basketball. So always loved it. So how did you find your way there?
Well, I'm from Virginia. I'm from the Richmond area. So I grew up like pretty close to UVA, and honestly, I was a pretty good student in high school, you know, like stereotypically, like I come from an Asian family. My parents pushed me really hard academically. So I was able to get in through that. And then I don't know, I think it was honestly like not on my list of schools to get into, but it was the closest school. Like I kind of wanted to stay local, so it was a good choice. And I honestly didn't think I was going to get in because I felt like I heard it was really competitive, and then I was kind of surprised when I saw that notice, so that I got in. Um, so yeah, I went there, and I had tried like so many different activities. It was really cool because UVA has like so many clubs, so you can kind of pick and choose whatever you want to do. Like ultimate frisbee was a really big part of my development as a person. I didn't really play sports growing up, to be honest. So like going to and playing and being on a team sport was so much fun there.
Yeah, I mean, I just the atmosphere up there, I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And the one thing I have yet to do, in all the trips I've been up there, I've yet to really walk the grounds.
Oh yeah, you got to do that. That's the best part.
I mean, I've spent many a time in the hospital up there, which is
Yeah.
right, basically across the street from everything.
Uh huh.
But yeah, one of these days, I'm gonna make that trip up there and just wander all around.
But the
Um,
like the football games are like a totally different atmosphere. Just
hmm
being there, you kind of feel secluded in that arena, and that's
hmm
kind of all you are able to take in.
hmm Yeah, we always park over near JPJ and walk over. And then afterwards, basically disappointedly walk back. I hate to say that about my guys, but truth be truth. But I love going to the JPJ and seeing my Who's play there. I love that environment.
Mhm.
I mean, Coach Tony's got them rolling up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of regret not going to more games when I was in school.
Yeah, that's how I always felt too. It's like you get kind of get focused on stuff, and then later on, it's like, man, there's a lot of things I missed.
Yeah, definitely.
You played, according to you, not you disc, but the disc golf protour.com. Is that what
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called? 41 events, 22 wins. So I'm going to say your victory mindset is pretty strong.
Thank you. You know, I was looking at that. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I didn't even notice that.
Because when you talk, it's like, well, I don't know if my mind's. I'm like, I kind of think it is. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing you down here at Worlds this year. I think that's going to be awesome. Did y'all have to walk Ivy Hills?
Yeah, yeah.
God, that is brutal.
I know. I know. I was thinking I did a practice round with some friends with the golf carts, and
Hmm
we're like, how are we gonna do this walking? Like walking the whole course. I just kind of just ate a lot and snacked a lot. So it was definitely a marathon for sure.
As I'm thinking of August, it's going to be hot,
Yeah.
lots of fluids. Bring an umbrella,
Okay.
keep
Yeah,
that
I
sun
did
off of
this
you.
time. Yeah.
So, man, I don't think I'm going to be going to that course. I really don't. I used to play golf there,
Hmm.
and the thing I find funny is the disc golf course is on the back nine, but it's backwards on the back nine, which I find to
Okay.
be really odd.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I'm probably gonna make a trip over there at some point. Oh yeah. One of the things I did want to know is how many aces have you got?
Zero. I have zero aces.
We're
And
tied. We are tied.
I almost had an ace a couple weeks ago at my home course, Bluemont, and it just chained out. It just chained out, and I don't. Okay, so I have zero aces, but let me ask you a question, or to anyone watching: when you ace, do you try to go for an ace, or you just throw a bad shot and it goes in? Because I never figured it out. Because like when I'm playing a course, I'm usually practicing the golf play, which is like trying to park it. You know, you're trying to
Mhm.
park it, so you're not really trying to ace. You're trying to set yourself up for the easy birdie putt. So yeah, I haven't aced, but
All right. I am so bad that I've chained out a few times. It wasn't on purpose.
yeah.
I mean, the chains kind of got in the way.
Okay. That's good to know. So you're not trying to ace, it just goes in.
Well, as bad as I am trying to, but
Okay.
it's not pretty. I mean, there's a couple of holes that you can run it, and you have like a hill behind it, so it's
Mhm.
not going to go very far. So you don't have to worry about it. Like hole 3 here at Peachtree Park, that's definitely one. It's very
Okay.
approachable. Um, Good guys from Overthrow Disc Golf are here visiting with us. He said he's had both, where he's run it and gone away from it. And here's a question from Chris, and I talk about this with everybody that comes on, because huge advocate for women's disc golf. It's such a great sport, and how would you approach getting more women into the sport?
More women into the sport. I think probably trying to build a more welcoming environment for
Mhm.
women. I know especially sometimes it's hard for new women to get into the barrier of disc golf. So this is something that I want to do as I gain more experience, is I want to run clinics, like in the local Northern Virginia area, especially. And I know that there's a lot of men in the community who probably want their wives or their daughters or siblings or any other female in their life to join the game. And there maybe just aren't like many resources for these women who want to play, but they just don't know how to get started. And I know like sometimes it isn't the best to learn from your husband, brother, father, etc. Because like we are different, like in starting out. So I think like having maybe more people like me be able to run clinics in the future, or be more open-minded to like or be more open-minded to like teaching new players. I know some other friends that I have who are at the pro level could maybe hopefully like give lessons to young players, to the young women. So I think that's something that I want to try to give back to the community like later on. So because like I want to be a resource for younger women. But I think I think just maybe like building the community that we have of women, and hopefully
Mhm.
branching out to gaining newer women from the men who already play the game.
Because when I went down to U.S. Women in Burlington, it was just so amazing to
Yeah.
see. I mean, just hundreds of women out there playing, having the times of their lives. And I was just like, this is what I want to see. I mean, obviously not on that scale, but
Right.
at the local events like Battle of Bedford, there were 6 or 7 women in it.
Yeah.
I was shocked that that's all it was in that event.
I know. Yeah, that's I think to be honest, maybe for a B tier, that's not super unheard of. Only six
Hmm.
or seven women, because I usually only play with that few women too.
Hmm.
But like U.S. women's, that is so insane to have so many women, and I think the women's side of the game is growing, just at a slower pace, and it's newer than the men's side of the game. So I think I'm very hopeful for like more growth in the future.
Yeah, I was talking to Juliana, and she was saying that the women are actually growing, but it just happens to be at the same percentage as the men are growing. So it still seems like there's fewer women
Mm.
playing, because she said it's basically maintained 7% for a long time.
Oh, really? The
And
women?
I was surprised at that number. It feels like it's less than that.
Yeah, is that PDGA members that are 7% women?
That I cannot tell you.
Okay. I thought it was
It's
like
not because I don't
3%,
want to tell
honestly.
you.
Say that again?
It said it's not because I don't want to tell you. I don't
Oh, I felt like it was 10% maybe, but
know.
maybe 7 is more accurate.
Mhm. But I was talking to Chelsea Howells, and one of the things that she said, and I was like, wow, I never even thought about this. She said when women are born well, and boys are born, she said boys, the first thing they have on is a little MVP T-shirt, and
Mhm.
women, they're born with little pink dresses and a bow on, and it's like
Yeah.
they're kind of born not to be as sports competitive. And I was like, I never even thought about that. That's a very valid point.
It is a valid point, and I don't feel like it has to be that way.
Yeah,
Like,
totally agree.
and it is kind of that's what our society is, that we teach women to do that, and like that's another issue, I guess, or a different topic, but I really don't think it has to be that separate. Like sports can be enjoyed by everyone.
Totally agree. Chris wants to know, what's your favorite Northern Virginia courses?
My favorite Nova course. Okay. I would say Clark's Run in Leesburg, Virginia. It's a beautiful wooded course. I think it's one of the most like scenic courses in Northern Virginia. You kind of forget that you're in Nova there. It's beautiful. And then also I like Giles. Giles is a good course. It's pretty close to me. It has a lot of good like OB practicing shots, so you could practice like trying to play smart there. And then probably Forest Valley is new. It's a new course in like the Quantico area. It's a championship level course, and I think it's gonna need some love. It's a little bit new, so over time, I think it'll be a really, really fun course.
Yeah. So it's going to beat in nicely.
It's going to beat in very nicely, yes.
I always love that phrase. Oh, it's going to beat in. Just give it time.
I know, right?
That's one thing about us down here. Chris, his wife was up that way working as a traveling nurse for a while. So we went up there and played a few of the courses, and I was like, man, some good courses up here. But Charlottesville, you say there's really nothing in Charlottesville?
No, I don't think that's true. I just didn't play disc golf when I was at UVA, so I just don't know the courses in Charlottesville.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, that's one of the things that I plan on doing in 2024 is start going outside of this local area and trying to find more courses and find people to get some rounds of them with, just because I think that's fun.
Yeah. Like playing with the locals there.
Neptune Discs, you are sponsored. Tell me about Neptune, because I got to be honest, I don't know anything about them. Here, you just never find Neptune Discs.
Yeah. So Neptune Disc is a fairly new company. We started back in 2021, and it's founded by Taylor Brooks, who is a friend of mine. I met him a couple years ago in Nova, and his college buddy Prue, and I think Taylor's brother is a part of the leadership as well. But they all wanted to start a company and like create their own discs. So we're based in Virginia, and right now we have several sponsored players, a lot of people in Northern Virginia and other parts of Virginia. So we also just came out with 3 new discs. I have them right here. They're the Splash, Nautilus, and Marlin. They're not available at any stores right now. I think it's just on neptunedisc.com. But this is like a putter, mid-range, and fairway.
Yeah, show those up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Made you big screen.
Big screen? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. This is like a pretty grippy putter. This is a Bass Plastic. This is like the baseline, and it's really grippy. And then this is the Nautilus, which is like the Buzz, but I think a little more stable. And then the Marlin is a pretty flippy fairway. So the plastics feel really good. The premium plastics. Yeah. Nice.
One of the things I was noticing of their plastics, they all have that nautical theme to them.
Yeah.
Because I first saw the base, and I was like, is that bass or is that bass?
It's bass.
we don't want to call it bass though. But that's really, really cool, because when I didn't know where they were, and then when we were talking, I was like, oh, okay, out of like Virginia Beach area. I get that. What would be like you know what? Let me say this too. Definitely go check out neptunedisc.com, and you can get a 10% discount using the code word Debbie. So after the podcast, run over there. Switch places. Run over there and get you a discount on some new discs, because hey, we all need new discs. So what is your like from different ranges? What would you say your favorite discs are from different ranges?
Okay, so probably from like 300 to 350 is my Wraith. I love that's my distance driver. I max out around like 340. I like measured in the field the other day. So I would probably say if I'm trying to go big distance, I would go my Wraith. And I have a pretty like relatively flippy one that I can get a full flight out of. And I don't have to put much effort in it. And then I would say a step below that, I'm liking the lutes, the Castoplast lutes. That's kind of like an Undertaker type disc that's like a little straight to fade. And then I throw the F5 for like, I don't know, like around 300 feet ish. That's a really good woods disc. It just like has a nice flip and like late flip, and it's really good for like Virginia's wooded courses. And then for my mid ranges, I am liking the CAC Z from Castoplast. That's a mid range that can almost go like fairway style, like fairway distances. So probably from like 250 to 275, I throw that. And then let's see. And then I'm liking the M4, the Prodigy M4, for around that distance as well. It's a really good woods course too. I kind of like the hyzer flip up style, so I throw those a lot. And then for my approaches, I'm throwing the splash right now. I'm trying to break in some new Neptune discs for the off season. So I'm throwing the splash for like little backhand chip shots. And then for my putters, I putt with Ricos. I kind of like the like thin profile, like more understable putters that I can just aim straight at the basket.
Okay. So I did not expect that you have is a complete open bag?
Yeah. So we are able to have a mixed bag at Neptune.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. That is great. Because I see from Drew Gibson. What's the company that he's with? TSA.
Infinite? Right? Infinite?
TSA.
Oh, I thought it was Infinite.
Well, anyway, I know he has an open bag. Something athletics. I can't remember the first two words of it. Why can't I think of that right now?
Thought Space?
That's it. Thought Space Athletics. Right. Yeah, he's got an open bag, and I've like, wow, that's pretty cool. Do you think you would prefer keeping an open bag or just go to one company with all their plastic?
Well, I think if I had the choice, I would do open bag. But if I were to be with a sponsor that was only one company, then I would do whatever bag. But thankfully with Neptune right now, we're able to do an open bag. So I honestly probably don't really mind. Like I don't really have a preference because I feel like I know the style of play I like, which is hyzer flips. So I would just try to find discs that do that.
Because in my mind, I feel like open bag is better.
Yeah.
But that money's always good.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I think there's a level where it almost doesn't matter what disc you have.
Right.
Like Simon, he's going to make those things do things that I'll never ever dream of doing.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. It honestly doesn't matter. You're right. Because I guess once you are that skilled, you could just manipulate it however you want.
Let's see. Over there it says it's infinite and he's got finish line. Maybe I could be wrong on that. I'm wrong on a lot of things in life, and it's okay. Best friends on tour. That's a good question.
Well, I'm not really on tour.
On the events you've been at.
My best friends for the events I've played at. I would say probably my best friend is my friend Kirti Gura. She is also developing like upcoming FPO players such as myself in the Nova area. She actually played in US Women's this year, and I would say we play together a lot. We kind of like, I feel like we kind of motivate each other and like kind of we enjoy competing because we kind of like challenge each other. Unfortunately, there aren't many like FPO ladies in the area. So I would say that I enjoy playing with her, and there's honestly not that many, which is a little sad, but I always like have a great time. And we're also just really good friends outside of disc golf too.
Make it down to Virginia. I know Brooke Johnson.
Oh yeah.
She's down here.
Yeah.
So hopefully one day I can get Brooke on the podcast. I got to reach out to her. We're in the same league, and we haven't
oh really?
We haven't mentioned that yet. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna mention Brooke because I played with her at Bedford, and she was really cool. So I'm looking forward to playing with her in general later. And then I also played with Caitlin Clay. She also she went to Liberty University, so I've played with her a few times. You usually kind of see the same people around, which is nice.
Okay, I have this question. Long T. What's your favorite course outside of Virginia, and which course is on your bucket list?
That's probably my husband. I am pretty sure because that's a type of username you would have. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
What's your favorite courses outside of Virginia? That's part one.
Okay. What's my favorite course outside of Virginia that I've played? I would probably say, what's that course in Clearwater, Florida? Shoot, I'm forgetting the name. The one where Climo built, and then like Calvin Heimberg plays. Like Cliff Stevens. Cliff Stevens is the name. We played there back like a year ago. So that was really fun. I love all the Tampa courses. And then then what was the second part of the question?
Did he throw you off a little?
Yeah.
What course would be on your bucket list?
Course on my bucket list.
Maple Hill.
Maple Hill is a good one. Also, like the courses in California, I think I haven't played that many. I played like Golden Gate Park with a couple friends. So like maybe like La Mirada and like in Southern California. I really want to play like Brewster Ridge and Fox Run because they look so beautiful on the screen.
So I would like to play Dela.
Dela. Oh yeah. Okay. I did play Dela. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how was that the top of the world?
It was pretty fun. Yeah, the top of the world is really fun. I think the layout that they usually have like wasn't as fun as like the pro layout that you usually see during the tournament. I didn't realize they change it up.
Let's see. So I think my favorite outside of Virginia I played was Burlington at the Regulator where the U.S. women played. That was a lot of fun. And you get to really see how good those women really are.
Yeah, I think I saw that on camera. It looks really tough, right?
Oh my goodness, it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, there are gaps there that I'm like, I don't see a gap. And that's from the tee pad. It's like, come on.
I know. I think you forget like how good the women are when you see them on screen because you're just like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. But when you get there, it's different.
The biggest thing that got me was some of the distances some of the women were throwing. Like Missy Gannon, I knew she could throw far, but when you see it in person, it's a different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Haley
like
King,
in person?
Haley King. I've said this about Haley. No one else I have ever seen. Now, I haven't seen many of the men play, mind you, but I've never seen anyone throw that disc comes out of their hand at seemingly a faster pace than hers.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch.
I know. I think I've heard people commentate that, but probably it's really different. Like if you see it in person.
Like her putting. I remember the first time I saw her putt, I was scared she was going to knock the basket over. She just puts power behind it. Let's see. Your favorite event and why?
My favorite event and why?
Right now, if you can't tell, I'm running through and getting questions out of the chat.
Which is yeah.
Which I always love.
Probably my favorite event that I've played in the past year was the Lake Marshall Open. I love those courses there, and they do a really good job of keeping the place looking amazing. So it's just like a balance of a wooded and an open course. I also really liked the Birdie Open at Iron Hill. I think Iron Hill is a really fun course too. So I'm hoping to get back to those. But I really like challenging wooded courses. So anything with that.
Nice. Yeah, I like wooded courses just because here in Lynchburg, we have so many of them. And so many, we have a couple open courses. You see your favorite. Yeah. Overthrow actually did ask this. You said you've got friends that could teach clinics.
So I don't know if I have like specific friends who could teach clinics because unfortunately, like I said, there aren't many like females in Virginia, like FPO players who play. Maybe Brooke, you could get Brooke on here and ask her to come do some clinics too. Yeah. So no, I don't think I have any concrete names. I probably misspoke when I said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to get Brooke on and talk to her. Talking about the regulator, Lance. He said Lance. I don't know who Lance is, by the way, but he said he killed that design at the regulator. It is really fun, really terrifying.
Is that a new course?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
I think it's maybe only a couple years old, and I talked to a few of the guys that from the club up there, and they was like, yeah, up until the last week, we were working on stuff.
Oh, sweet.
It was like, wow, you had an event like that while you're still working on it. It's pretty amazing. Let's see. Wow, I don't have many more questions actually. But I do have this. This was going to kind of be my last card. But if anybody in the chat has more questions, throw some in there. What would be your dream card?
My dream card. Probably Own for all the reasons we've mentioned. And then Haley King. I think I'm a huge fan of her. I love watching her throw the disc, like we just said. And definitely Kristen, because I would want to witness like how she stays so focused and her mental game and her execution up close. Yeah.
Okay, because my answer to this is always two different ones. It's who do I think I'd have the most fun with?
Yeah.
And who do I think I would learn the most from?
There could be two different people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like two groups for me.
Yeah.
And like Kristen, Paige Pierce, and I would kind of consider this my generational card. Juliana. Like, because to me, I have three almost eras covered that I could learn from there, but fun. Own.
Yeah.
Missy Gannon. I think I'd have a lot of fun playing with Missy. And
I missed her. Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Ella Hansen.
Yeah.
She always seems like she's having a blast out there. Or Evelina Solonen. I think watching the Finns out there playing, I would blow my mind just watching them play. Just how far they can throw.
I know, right? Yeah.
We just gotta. I'm not going to mention their putting anymore. Chris says your discount code is not currently working.
Oh.
He's already there trying.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what it is right now. If that's not it, can I tell you later on? If can
no,
I?
That's fine. I can add it later. And Chris is a good friend of mine, so I can actually tell him.
Okay.
I am confused by this question. Did you use all caps? Oh, that's for Chris. Never mind. that's for the code, Chris. Did you use all caps? Because actually, I guess on some things, caps do matter.
Yeah, right after this, I'll check the code and I'll message you what it actually is.
Okay. So do you plan on like just playing around just random courses here and there, or do you like staying on like one course a lot
for tournaments?
No, just for playing and learning and your own game and everything.
Yeah, I would say during the week I play Bluemont a lot. Yeah, so I play Bluemont because it's so close and I get to practice. Like it's a 9-hole course, so I've exhausted like a lot of the lines there. So when I go, I try to work on a specific thing, and then during the weekends I go and venture out and play like some of the other courses around.
What about field work?
Field work, yeah, that's tricky. I think I'm still trying to find a balance between that. I probably try to do field work like maybe once a week, hopefully. I did it last week actually, but yeah, field work is kind of tough because I tend to get derailed and I like don't focus well on when I get there. So I just start throwing and like trying to throw as far as I can. When it's probably more helpful to like go and focus on a goal. So yeah, I probably try to go like once a week.
I hate field work. I just feel like I don't get anything from it.
Yeah, it's not
That's
everyone's
my biggest thing. It's like to me, it's like if I'm throwing, because again, around here, there's so many wooded courses that I have to have lines for. And I feel like if I'm out there, just trying to work on distance, I'm like, okay, I'm hitting my line. Then I get to a course, I'm hitting the tree. But
yeah, definitely different type of throwing.
Do you have any projects that you're working on in your game?
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely trying to work on my forehand.
Hmm.
It's something that like I'm a predominantly backhand player, so a forehand has been something that I've been adding later in my game. It's to a point like I since it's not my main throw, I probably don't see gains on it as much as my backhand. So I am getting to a point where I can throw like pretty accurately of where I want it to go. But I think right now I want to work on like the angle control and the nose angle. And this goes for backhand and forehand both. I want to work on like mastering angle control and then like mastering kind of the planes of where holes are and throwing like the appropriate plane for that. Um, it's real obviously it's like obviously I would like to get more distance and work on my form and timing but I feel like that's not something that you can just come it just doesn't come like super quick.
Hmm.
So I feel like you kind of have to be patient with it. So I think for my golf game I would like to focus like mastering angle control, and then also just like getting better at mental game. Like I want to build more experience with that and like trying to get into the zone earlier during a tournament. I think sometimes I struggle with like being able to focus. It probably takes me like 9 holes to get like I'm still warming up sometimes when I play tournament rounds. So I want to be able to get into the zone faster.
That's actually a question I meant to ask you. Let's say, example, your tea time is 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
What is your routine prior to that? Like eating before, practice throwing up until it's time for you to go to the first tee?
That's a good question because I'm actually trying to figure that out right now and tinker with it in the off season. But I would say I like to wake up a little bit on the earlier side and give myself enough time. Like if I wake up at like 6:30, I like to stretch and meditate before I leave to go to the tournament. And then I make sure to get a really good breakfast in, and then just like make sure my and stretch. I like to do kind of like some warm ups for my body so I'm not super stiff. And then on the way to the tournament, I am trying to figure out what kind of music I like because I feel like I want to get into a good pumped up mode. So like probably listening to some DMX or something, like something to get me really hyped for the round and giving me some motivation. So I like to like blast music and like bump my head in the car. And then when I get there, I like to stretch again and then throw a couple shots, but mostly I feel like I want to get my putt dialed in before the round and feeling the putt because I think everything else kind of comes into place. So the putting, like getting that feel is more important to me.
Yeah, for me, I'll always have Slipknot playing on the way to the disc golf course.
Say that again.
Slipknot.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Nice.
it's going to give me my energy. That and Metallica is like, I'm going to have my energy. I'm going to be
Yeah.
all right. When I get to the course, I have like the therapeutic bands.
Mm-hmm.
Get some good stretching in with that before I throw.
Yeah.
My biggest issue is when to eat
Yeah.
before. If I eat too much, I'm sluggish the first part, and then I have energy at the backside. If I don't
Mm-hmm.
eat enough, I'm sluggish at the front, but then at the backside, I feel terrible. It's
Yeah.
like there's a line in there.
There is a line, and it's always tough because like you want to focus on your game, but you also got to think about fueling yourself. I've been trying to like drink muscle milks for protein. So when you're on the go, you can just like pop one in, like that gives you a little bit of nutrients.
Yeah, I was talking to Tyler Wozniak, who, by the way, mentioned I should try to get you on here as well. Tyler. So, and he said he always takes like the Nature Valley bars with him. So, like, he'll have a little snack on the way. I was like,
Oh,
great
okay,
idea.
cool.
Great
Yeah,
idea.
I met Tyler at Bedford
Hmm.
actually. Like we met at like the putting practice
Yep.
green. Yeah.
Do you have a basket at home?
Yeah, I do have a basket at home, and I live in a like a townhouse, and we have a little common area in the back. So I
Mhm.
take my basket out into the backyard and putt out there.
Chris was saying, what do you think about like gimmick style baskets, like some of the real skinnier ones, or like hanging ones, having one swinging,
Oh yeah, for practicing or just in general.
just practicing?
I
Because I
don't
don't think I
have
want one of those on a course.
I don't have any of the smaller baskets, so like the thinner ones, so I don't really know. Um, I do think I would like the hanging ones during a round because like there's a whole like hole 2 at Cannon Ridge in Fredericksburg. They have like a hanging basket at the top, and I think it's kind of interesting because like I feel like for me, I'll focus on making the putt and not focusing on missing the putt. So it actually probably works in my favor, like mentally.
What about standardizing things in disc golf, like the height of baskets or tee pads and things like that? What do you think about that?
Standardizing. Well, I know that on the Pro Tour that it's been an issue with like some baskets spitting out more than others that I've heard. So if the Pro Tour like feels like it's something that they need to standardize, I think they should do that for like competitive fairness. But I honestly like don't care and I don't have an opinion. Like it doesn't really affect me or I don't feel bothered by it. So I just try to like, I guess like not get too bothered by the course's factors because like everyone has to deal with the same factors. So
Yep.
yeah, so like I don't know, it is what it is. But if the Pro Tour feels like they need to do it, then I think by all means do that.
I mean, I think for tee pads, I think safety they need to. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I feel like they need something standard for everybody. I think that would be better. But like baskets, I hate a high basket. I really hate that because when I miss, it's gone. I hate that so much. And I ended up laying up a lot of them just because I'm like, I know if I miss,
Oh yeah, the elevator baskets.
yeah, it's gonna get up and roll, and I hate that.
Yeah.
The worst I ever see is Sarah Hokum. She has the worst luck when it comes to
Oh
rolls.
yeah, I've seen those videos.
Um, I think that's all the questions we got today.
Okay, cool.
Did you
Yeah,
have fun?
did that code work on Neptune or should I check
He
on
said
that?
it still has not. So I
Okay.
will like I
Yeah.
said, you message me and I'll get in touch with Chris. Me and him. If you watch any of my two amateurs play disc golf, he's on a lot of the videos. So we'll
Okay.
definitely make sure he gets that.
Okay, sounds good.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, this was great. It was just like a conversation, just hanging out.
Well, that's what I try to make it because it's just two people just having a good time playing and talking about a sport that we really love.
Exactly.
There you go. So, anything else before we go?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, like thanks for having me. I had a really fun time. Check out Neptune Discs, and I'll get that code to Daryl right after this. But
Yeah, and
yeah,
I will be sure to have the code below so everyone can get it.
okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm just excited for next year.
Do you have? You know what? I should ask this. You say you don't have an actual schedule for next year. Do you think is there a certain number of pro events, like top tier events, you might try to get into?
Yeah, I think we have a lot. I did mostly A tiers this year, so I'll probably do the same thing with mostly A tiers next year. I want to check out Warwick. I've never played there, but that's like an A tier in New York. I want to check that out, and then yeah, so I'll probably just like sign up for A tiers in like the Mid Atlantic area.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, that's. I mean, I'm not gonna be entering tournaments, but me and some of the guys we'll be touring around. So hey, if we're ever in neighborhood similar, let's get together and I'll record around together. That'd be
Sure,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Debbie, again, thank you so much. Check out neptunedisc.com. Get her code word. Check her out. There she's on that side. Check her out on Instagram. Debbie, you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
my Instagram is Debbie_disc golf. Yeah, you could say hi there. I only have 200 followers, so I'll get back to you if you message me. So
that's
yeah,
more than twice my number, by the way.
What did you say?
So that's more than double me. But link is down below for that as well. So Debbie, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure hanging out.
Yeah,
Good
it was so
times.
great to meet you. Thank
And
you.
3 simple words: wahoo wah.
Let's go. Let's go, who's.
And you guys have an incredible day.
All right, you too.